Adirondack mystery creature.
This video was recorded in the Adirondack Mountains of New York, according to the YouTube description. 3 men were up near Old Forge in the park when they saw this strange creature and attempted to videotape it. One thinks it's a black bear, while another insists that it's not because it's walking on 2 legs, or is it? The creature is seen briefly, disappears behind a tree, then is seen briefly again before it is lost from sight. The description labels it as a Bigfoot sighting.
Bigfoot Russian.
The video of a Russian news story covers the alleged capture of a Bigfoot. There is the poor creature pacing around in a large cage behind the guy who claimed to have captured the beast. According to a translation of a Russian article on December 28th, the Military Border Control Federal Security Service of Ingushetia in the forest district of Ingushetia, Zherovsk, caught a strange 2-meter-tall creature like Bigfoot, said the agency Interfax.
Bigfoot at Sequoia.
This bill, not necessarily video footage, is a fairly comprehensive compilation of recordings of possible Bigfoot or Sasquatch cries and howls.
Very strange noise. Seems to be coming from some kind of an animal. It's been going on for about a minute now.
Bigfoot started by shotgun.
In this video, you'll see a family target shooting with a shotgun at some undisclosed location. We can hear a helicopter flying above. After a few shots, we see in the background a dark figure leap, then run across the snow-covered field before dropping down on all 4s. According to the poster, they didn't notice that thing in the background until they later viewed the video. They first thought the helicopter was watching them, but later wondered if it was tracking the Bigfoot.
Christmas Bigfoot.
This video was taken with a security camera on the night of Christmas 2010, according to the YouTube description posted by Big108. On Christmas Eve, I found footprints in the snow and am sure they are from Bigfoot. So tonight, I put a security camera out, and if you watch closely in full screen, you can see him walk away from left to right behind the big oak tree. Stay tuned for what may be one of the most exciting discoveries yet.
Craven Bigfoot.
A family up for a drive in Craven, Saskatchewan were shocked to see a hair-covered bipedal creature walking on a hill beside the road. They quickly took out their camera and filmed the creature as it walked into the bushes. This is their footage. It is clear, showing a biped brown all over with a conical head and long arms. Could this be a real Sasquatch?
Easterville Bigfoot.
This video was allegedly captured with a cell phone camera near Easterville, Manitoba, Canada in June or July of 2007. The people in the video are speaking Cree and are saying, "There's someone standing here, boy, it looks big. Can you see it? Boy, it's kind of far away."
Harley Hoffman Sasquatch.
This video from Harley Hoffman provides footage of a dark-haired creature walking away amid some trees. The video was recorded in 2001 in British Columbia, and it's a good one. This video, in some ways, rivals the Patterson-Gimlin film in terms of clarity and importance. And before we continue watching, I would like to remind you that you can buy a t-shirt from my partners on Amazon. Thank you for your attention. Unlike many Bigfoot videos, fortunately, we get a pretty clear view of the creature, and it's in focus. It may be the best footage of a Bigfoot-type creature since the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film. The creature looks quite real, and its musculature can be seen moving beneath the hair.
Idaho Canyon Bigfoot.
In this very short video, we see a black figure walking through the trees of a snow-covered canyon. The person who posted the video says it's somewhere in Idaho, but is not specific about the location or date. The clip is shown twice, the second time with motion stabilization, which helps with viewing the creature considerably. The poster says only this: a large shady creature, which appears to be a Bigfoot, was spotted walking through the trees across the canyon. We never really got a good look, but at first we thought it was a person walking across the canyon. However, after looking at it for a second, it looked more and more like it was not human.
Skunk ape encounter.
The author of this video provides only this description. Nyaka, Florida, encounter occurred on May 2, 2008. Unfortunately, like many such videos, it does not provide a clear view of the entity, if it is an animal at all. We are left with the frustration that this might be another hoax, or if it's real. Further frustration that the creature remains elusive to both capture and cameras.
KETCHIKAN, Alaska Bigfoot.
The following was reported by the videographer. I was on a logging road in KETCHIKAN hiking with a friend when I saw it. Boy, did my heart start racing. It was about 40 yards from the road and seemed to travel fast. At one point you can see a whitish-yellowish thing in its hand. I believe it was skunk cabbage. You can see it jump, and after that point it just seems to disappear. I couldn't tell where it had gone. We went to search for tracks, but the riverbed where we thought it was walking was full of perfect skipping rocks, so we found no prints. If there is a Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or Kashtanka, I swear I saw him.
SOBE, bomb Bigfoot.
In the spring of 2008, several teenagers were in a wooded canyon near Logan, Utah, setting off a homemade soda bomb in a campfire. As they were waiting for the bomb to detonate, a figure in the background stands up and walks away. The kids don't seem to notice this creature as they are intent on the impending explosion, which is rather spectacular.
Sasquatch speaks.
This audio recording was reportedly made by a Sasquatch in Ontario, Canada on May 3, 2013, according to the YouTube description. Audio of this caliber is extremely difficult to obtain. They say it took 7 months of persistence and a non-invasive approach to build up trust to a level that this family of Sasquatch feels is comfortable enough to let us hear their voices on the recording. You'll hear several different types of vocalizations. One is clearly a deep belch, as well as some trademark tree knocking.
I'm in my tent. That is a Sasquatch.
Strange humanoid encounter.
The description reads, on Sunday, July 16, 2006, my brother and I had a strange encounter with a large dark humanoid in the forests of Tofino. Our family was inside at the campground, and we went for a hike. We brought a video camera with us because the area was abundant with deer and bears. At the beginning of the cliff, I quickly pulled the camera out of the bag and filmed for several seconds before rushing forward, at which point my brother pulled me backward. We then ran backwards 50 meters, waited for a while, and returned to the scene where we saw some very indistinguishable footprints. We were both atheists and skeptics, and my hypothesis is that this was a bear, although my memory deceives me. The animal was about 7 feet tall, give or take 1 foot. It hunched over quite a bit when it first encountered us. It only stared. By the time I got the camera out, it started fleeing.
Mission, British Columbia, Sasquatch.
A couple hiking on a logging road in the remote mountains of Mission, British Columbia in July 2013 were taking pictures of the beautiful scenery when they noticed something moving on a ridge in the distance. Although they were quite far away from the creature, they zoomed in on it as much as they could.
Sasquatch at structure.
Along the Montana-Idaho border, during our expedition to the famous Deadly Bomb and Bigfoot location, we found these deep, giant Sasquatch tracks. A few feet from a log structure that contained massive logs on a steep mountainside, the track was sunk in a few inches, and its toes drove into the steep mountainside. The track was over 14 inches long and nearly 8 inches wide at the toe splay. And before we continue watching, I would like to remind you that you can buy a t-shirt from my partners on Amazon. Thank you for your attention. This Bigfoot track was only a few feet away from a massive log structure. It was pointed right towards this structure, which appears to be filled with heavy relocated logs. This famous deadly Bigfoot sighting location brings us to this area often. There are also recent Bigfoot sightings. The most recent was near the Chief Joseph Pass on the Montana side of the border. Giants at Dry Bread Hollow. Around 2 hours after Matthew Anderson comes face to face with 2 giant 8.5 feet tall male Sasquatch, we arrive in Dry Bread Hollow to investigate. We literally find hundreds of Bigfoot tracks, new, old, and in between, suggesting they have been using this location for well over a week.
Took a step out off to the left, and then the first one was just standing there. Kind of, it was really weird, like a reflective light almost. Kind of when I moved, he was just there. And then when I was talking to you on the phone, it was scowling. That's the word I was looking for.
It had a scowl on its face.
Yeah. And so when he was scowling and kind of looking, and it was probably about 5 seconds, and then he kind of like huffed. And you can see all the cold coming out of his nose, and that's when I drew. And I didn't even draw up and point out. I just kind of drew up, and the other one stepped out in front of him, kind of like almost like in a protective manner. And
it realized you were doing an aggressive maneuver.
Yeah, and then as I got back in, I realized I probably shouldn't have drawn, and so when he came.
Well, I understand completely why you did. Yeah.
So then they wasn't even making it an aggressive. So the younger one had the scowl, but the older one wasn't scowling. Like he just kind of stepped like almost a matter of fact. And
so it was the older one that stepped in front of the younger one?
Yeah. And I mean, it was 16 years ago, but from what I seen, it really looked like the one that I seen 16 years ago. And what is that? As the crow flies 20 miles maybe?
Or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if you can go straight over the mountain, yeah, it's less than 20 miles.
Yeah.
He may be the alpha in the area.
And so that's like when he stepped out, like we looked like we made eye contact. And I didn't holster. I walked backwards back down. When I got back down here is when I reholstered, jumped in, and took off back down the road.
And how tall were they?
About 8.5.
And the color?
So the younger one was like a dark black, like a full black almost. And then the older one was black, but he was graying. You can tell he's getting old, and was kind of like a receding hairline, like a widow's peak almost. And he didn't have like a goatee, but his bottom chin was gray, like it was really thick gray. Like there wasn't very much black, but the rest of him was like almost salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And like he just looked like there was, like he wasn't scowling or anything. It was just almost a blank stare. It was just looking at me, and I backed down, jumped in, and took off.
Was the older one the taller one?
Yeah.
So he was the probably 8.5 feet, and then and then the other one
probably, I'd say 8 foot 3 inch, 8 foot.
Just a couple inches smaller.
Just wasn't very much shorter.
What about body mass? Were their body mass is similar? Or?
They were similar, but the younger one looked